Save the Mermaids! Woo! Okay, aloha. Welcome to Save the Mermaids podcast. I'm Rachael.
I'm Gabby. And I'm Shauna.
Our wonderful, beautiful guest from Hale Pua Paint Kids, but also just Hale Pua and everything.
Yeah. And we're excited to talk to her today and get to hear more about her interesting story and background and what she's done now. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for coming on. We're so excited because you have such a unique background and you've made such an impact on our shop in both locations.
Yeah.
At Classic Waves Boutique, you really stand out with your paint kits and just everything you brought into the shop. So we're excited to learn more and have you here.
Thank you. So maybe we can start with talking about your background. You were born and raised on the windward side.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Kahalu for the most part and moved to Raimanalo Homestead and then Kailua. So yeah, very much a windward Ko'olau Poko girl. And I went to school on the windward side through high school and then went to University of Hawaii. Went to community colleges and then the law school here at Manoa.
Do you want to maybe talk about your law background? I think it kind of sets you apart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I had been in real estate since I was 18 years old as a real estate agent. And I got into escrow when I had my son. So it's a little more stable with insurance and a regular paycheck. And then I really was interested in the title side. So I got into title searching and that natural progression led me to being curious about like titles in Hawaii and land regulations and how did this evolve to where we are here today. And I decided to go to law school. I mean, that was one of the catalyst that took me there was my curiosity about land and the unique titles that we title system you have here in Hawaii.
What, from learning about land and real estate, did you then started your own practice or?
Yeah, so I graduated from law school with environmental and Native Hawaiian rights certificates, yes. So I did some work out in Kahana Bay with a nonprofit we started there. And I had a solo practice. I was actually right around the corner in a co-working space, Rock, it was called Rock Hawaii. And I loved it. I had a thriving practice, a little niche practice. And then COVID hit. And it changed everything overnight. And I pretty much lost my whole practice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the court I practiced in shut down for 2.5 years.
Wow.
And you just think you're safe and you went you put all this time and money and energy and into a career that you think is going to be it for you. And no, it just shook me up to my core as I had to pivot very quickly into learning e-commerce and selling. What I started selling were hats, which went along with me just coming back to being like, okay, if I'm stripped of everything, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Who am I at my core? What do I enjoy? What do I love doing? One of those things was weaving lauhala. So I started weaving with my auntie, Reina, and hats were just at the time, and they still are, lauhala hats are prized and they are heirloom pieces, but often not within a lot of people's budgets. So I thought, well, maybe that's something I can help fill. So I found a group of weavers overseas who could make similar design, but not the same. And just offer an affordable alternative. And that was within a space of a few months. With it, I had literally in my bank account, I think 2 months left of mortgage, and what am I going to do with this? And I just said, okay, well, I'll just give this idea a shot. And that really just like launched Hale Pua, were those hats. And it covered us financially for a few months. And then I was like, okay, I have this step covered. We're okay for now. And then what's the next step? And it was just a lesson in learning to be resourceful and trusting that the ideas that I have and the creativity that's in me, it doesn't always have to be learned in school, and it often isn't. It's just, do I have the energy and the drive to be able to follow things that my heart says, let's go in this direction? That doesn't always make sense, maybe logically, right? But giving yourself the freedom to explore parts of yourself that, on paper, it might not add up. Like, I'm a lawyer. Why am I selling hats? Why am I,
Yeah.
So Hale Pua has definitely just been a progression of allowing myself to explore those different parts of me. And, excuse me, and then growing with it and just seeing where it goes. So
I think that's really inspirational that you were able to take that leap. When did you come up with your paint kits?
So it was a little further into COVID, and I was dealing with some just really low moments of, I would say maybe like some depression, anxiety, and I would just get caught in these spirals of these negative thought processes and trying to find ways to escape that. And I just started, again, coming back to like, what do I enjoy doing? What did little Shauna love to do? And I used to love paint by number kits.
Aww.
I just loved it. It was like, you just sit there with your paints and the numbers. So I thought, well, why don't I just pick that back up? And in my undergrad, one of my joys was taking art classes. And I had explored, art, and was very gently told by my college career guidance that, well, Shauna, you don't really have a future as an artist, so why don't you go the law route? And, being so young, I thought, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be an artist, so let's just put everything into law and going that path. And I did that. And I just kind of put that side of me to the side for a long time. And, having everything just taken away from you, it kind of brings you back to those just essential parts of you that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So I was looking for paint kits on, Amazon or wherever I could find them. And I just wasn't seeing art that I'd want to hang in my house at the end of the day. I might enjoy it, but do I really want to hang like cats on my wall? Probably not. I'm more of a dog or a horse person, but that's beside the point. And so I thought, why don't I make a few of these and I'll see how they do, mostly for myself.
Yeah.
And I just got a few hundred of them made, and I just loved it. It was an escape. You don't have to worry about color theory or mixing paints because they're there. And so I just started painting, and wouldn't you know, there are other girls out there who want to paint leis and other local flowers and native birds. So that's how that started, was sort of, again, in that moment of not desperation, but I think just being set free, and there's a quote that I love. It says, life is between the trapeze bars, and it's like letting go of a bar that you feel so comfortable and familiar with, and then just kind of leaping into like air. And it's like these moments of being free and suspended, but also terrified of like what's at the other side.
Yeah.
And I think it's in those moments of almost being forced off of the familiar bar to grab onto the next one. That's when my life has always kind of taken a different turn unexpectedly. And it's those finding the courage to like, yes, we're going to launch into whatever this next phase is. And There's been moments too where it doesn't work out, and okay, there was a fall. But then learning to be like, okay, I'm still gonna get back up on that trapeze bar, and I'm still gonna try to fly to that, whatever that next thing is to grab onto. So I think just having the opportunity to do these sort of products that shops like Classic Waves, I'm so blessed to have like local retailers like you guys who enjoy my products and help me get them out to other people who would enjoy them as well. So it's been wonderful to partner with retailers who care about the sort of products that they source and who are they supporting and who are the makers behind these products. I think it's so important, and more people should care about where they're spending their dollars. And so I appreciate Classic Waves and the other shops, like you guys who value beyond just like what are we selling and how much profit can we make from it, but who are we supporting behind these brands. So
well, thank you, because that's also just great to hear, because that's why we're so happy to have you here, because every product at Classic Waves Boutique is so much more than just something someone's buying. This is your whole story. This is the whole story behind this beautiful paint kit you're doing. And it's like, so it's inspiring and encouraging too. I keep thinking about how you went after what felt right and aligned for you, and to be an example of doing that and it blossoming and flourishing is very encouraging for maybe the future artist who's doing your paint kits. They're going to have that epiphany of like, this is what's meant for me. So I think it's really amazing.
Thank you. I think even myself, I'm not an artist, and I've done a couple of your paint kits, and what I love the most is that it's nice to make something. It's always just nice to make something, and I always felt like it was out of my ability.
And I want to challenge you on that, because I feel everybody can be an artist. And I think if you pick up a paintbrush and you put paint onto a canvas and you enjoy doing that, you're an artist.
Yes, I agree.
And I think it's like, sometimes people think, oh, I'm not an artist because I didn't go to school.
Yeah.
And that's just, I'm really pushing back on that idea. Creativity doesn't have to come with a degree. It doesn't have to come with a certification. Yeah. And it's not just limited to paint kits. It's whatever. I've really come to this point in my life where if you want to be something and if it's in your heart to do it and you enjoy doing it, you are that thing. And it's just a matter of manifesting that, like, okay, this is in me. I want to do it. I wasn't, and I still have a hard time sometimes, like, I'm not an artist because I didn't go to school. And I always push back on that idea, even for myself, because that's just not what artists are. Artists create. And if you enjoy creating, you're an artist.
I love that.
And I think that's what these are. They allow people the freedom to create something. And you don't have to put a label on it. You enjoy it. You put paint on the canvas, you're an artist.
Yes,
you're an artist. And even if it's not perfect, that's not what art is. Art is not perfection.
Yes.
You don't have to stay in the lines. They're more like guidelines. And then every single paint kit that's made, it's going to be unique to the person who made it.
Yeah.
And maybe you want to switch out a color, or maybe you want to mix colors. It's just there to sort of guide you there. So yeah, I think that's why maybe a lot of people enjoy them, is because it sort of unlocks this creativity that a lot of us have within us. But who goes to the store and picks up the paint and the brushes, so it's sort of a easy way to explore creativity. And maybe you start at a paint kit, and who knows, maybe you really want to crochet or flower arrange, ikebana, whatever it is. I think there's so many different aspects to creativity that maybe you want to explore. And this would be hopefully a gateway to being able to look into other creative aspects.
Oh, that's so true. It's totally a gateway. It's like it's the in-between of your trapeze jump. You're like, oh, you want to be creative? Here's a bit.
It is. Yeah. Whatever helps you to get to that next creative jump.
Yeah.
Or if it's a career jump, I feel like as human beings, well, for myself anyway, I'm always like, what is the next exploration for me? What's out there for me? My mom used to call me Curious Shauna because I was just always like, I want to learn everything about everybody, everything. So I think it's just as I get older, I find myself feeling more free to explore and not feel put in a box or this is what I am and I wear the lawyer hat or I wear the mom hat. I can wear all the hats. I can wear the artist hat and the mommy hat and the lawyer hat and the business girl hat, and all of those things are genuinely me. And I can be all these different things without feeling like compromised.
Yeah.
And I'm a, activist in Native Hawaiian rights and I'm an environmentalist and all of these different things, they're all just part of me. And I don't have to be any one thing at any given time. I can be all of them simultaneously.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
As I get older, I think I learned these things. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I wish I knew a lot of these things when I was your guys' age. I'm probably 20 years older than you.
No.
But I think, sharing this sort of wisdom is, it's a joy for me to be able to pass on the things that I'm learning. It's not everything I learned in school was necessarily what led me to here. A lot of it was just exploring.
Yeah.
Curious.
Definitely.
Yeah.
With and I feel like this print specifically does a good job of demonstrating how you use your different hats in one piece because of your connection to this print.
Yeah. So this print is a dear friend of mine, Waiala, and she lives in Puna on Hawaii Island. She's a homesteader with her husband and her son, Kukuogi. And she's pictured on the beach of Kunalu'u, where she grew up. And for me, this is such it's a full circle moment for me too with this paint because I'm able to donate a part of the proceeds, go to her and her homesteading efforts there. And it's just, she's wearing, a mu'umu'u that she was passed on from somebody that I believe it was her mother, her grandmother. And it's something that girls who come into the shop and purchase, they're able to paint Waiala and her native.
Yeah, that's so cool.
In her native environment, and I get to be a small part of, somebody's creativity and then Waiala's story and supporting her. So for me, it's like being a conduit of energy and passing on, people who maybe see her paint kit and her, maybe don't know her, but connect with some part of this creative process, of creating this, and she'll live forever on somebody else's wall. And then I get to be a part of that whole, kind of connection story between different people in different parts of the world that connect creatively.
So we're happy to be a part of your connection too.
Yeah.
To get that,
It's all a beautiful, circle.
definitely.
Yeah. And we love the intentionality behind your products with stuff like that and your lace hacks that use recycled plastics. Yes, it's not just, and all the products you make are all stuff that you want to see. So it feels more authentic than just making something to make it.
Yeah, everything that I put out there into the world is because I have an idea or I want something that doesn't exist. And I get to manifest that into a physical, taking these ideas and translating them into a physical product. It's an honor, and it feels like sometimes I'm like, is anybody gonna want this? Am I the only one? And then finding that, there are people out there who want similar things and who enjoy my things. And I'm always honored. I'm like,
Wow. That's amazing.
That's really cool because you're thriving too for at Classic Waves. Oh, thank you. Your household name in the boutique.
Oh,
Yeah. Customers very frequently are like, and where's the Hale Pua?
and that's like humbling to hear because I never create something thinking I'm creating this for the masses.
Yeah.
I usually think about not to sound selfish, but like, what do I want?
Yeah.
What do I want to put out there in the world?
Yeah.
And it's very intentional, and it's things that I would want to be proud of and have some sort of message or just putting beautiful things out there to the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's next for you? What are you putting out into the world next?
Well, next for me, and actually, I bought some for you guys to share.
Sweet.
So this is, these are Pikake citrus teas that I curated, and they are the next step, I think, of my journey of wanting to share beautiful things. So that's for you. That's for you. And teas have been a big part of my life. I find them just to be, sensory and rich and luxurious. And they're a big part of my ritual of transitioning from maybe being in my lawyer hat and then stepping into a creative space or more of a calm, creating that energy of creativity. And sometimes it's hard to transition from that, coming off of a stressful work day. I look forward to these ritual moments of I'm getting my teapot out and hearing the water boil and hearing the water pour and on my tea vessels and picking a teacup and measuring it out and pouring it out and then tasting it. I find so much comfort and peace and tranquility in my teas. And then again, it's like creating teas that are thoughtfully curated with ingredients that I want to source. And so these are just the first iteration of what that looks like. And I'm hoping to do more like sharing of my tea process. So this Saturday, I'm hosting my first virtual paint and sip.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm going to be doing a tea tasting online with the small group of girls. And then we're going to do some painting techniques, and they can explore for themselves, is tea something that brings me joy and peace, and how that can tie in with painting and paint and sips. And I think a lot of times the paint and sips are wine or, something like that. And for those of us who I'm trying to get away from, like finding comfort in alcohol, and finding joy and ritual in teas is helping me to replace a lot of that in my daily life, because I don't want to just come home and feel like I have to have a glass of wine.
You're creating like a meaningful ritual and a connection to just a different beverage. It's cool.
Yeah, and it's not only just the drinking of the beverage, but it's the preparation of it.
Yeah.
And in Japan, tea ceremony is almost like a religious experience, and it's a big part of many Asian cultures and traditions and even daily life. A lot of family units are like centered around tea time, and I think it's a beautiful tradition. And I myself am part Japanese. My grandfather came from Japan. So when I went to Japan, experiencing that firsthand and just how rich those moments can be, and maybe that we can import some of that and learn from the different cultures that do have these tea rituals. I think it can be beautiful, enjoyed with ingredients that are sourced here locally and perhaps enjoyed by other people. Like how my paint kits were bringing creativity, this can also help to bring another aspect of enjoyment and fulfillment without having to have alcohol involved. So
That's really special
yeah.
because you're creating the full picture and experience from the tea to the painting to the separating of hats, so being all the hats at once. It's really cool. I think you're doing a really good job of just what you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I'm thrilled that you guys wanted to have me here to share some of my story along with my goods that are sold here. So
Yes, thank you so much.
thank
I
you.
feel like this has been a really like rewarding conversation in terms of like advice and like inspiration and encouragement.
Yeah.
I feel inspired to go home and finish a painting I'm working on.
You know, and if it takes you months, then you enjoyed months with one paint kit. It doesn't have to be like rushed through. Even if you take a few moments and do it here and there, there's no rules to it. So it's not like you have to, I must finish my paint kit. It's like, you can enjoy it and not feel rushed that there's a timeline involved.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been so enlightening, and we're so honored that you were here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And we're also going to be giving you, a Save the Mermaids shirt. So, yeah. Sorry, yes. Yeah, no, yeah. All of our shirts, part of the proceeds go to a coral restoration.
I love it. Wow, awesome. Thank you so much. I will proudly wear it.
Thanks for saving the mermaids.
Thank you, mermaids, for having me. I love your mermaid story.
Possible. Thank you.
Aloha.